One of his teammates, Tyson Campbell. Where was Tyson Campbell that he said this at?
This is at the offseason. Yeah, this was yesterday.
Okay, Tyson Campbell was asked about Carson Schwesinger, and here's what he said. Carson can be one of the greats to ever play in the league. Is that all he said?
Yes.
Okay. Not a man of a lot of words, but they are meaningful. Do we agree with Tyson Campbell that Carson Schwesinger can be one of the greats at linebacker?
I mean, it was an incredible rookie season.
Yeah.
Like, take nothing. That was an absolutely incredible rookie season coming from a guy who was a relative unknown to Browns fans when he was drafted with the 33rd overall pick, to coming in immediately and making waves in training camp. He was one of the guys that, even on the few days I went, you left saying, that 49 guy, like, he's everywhere, making plays everywhere. The coaches couldn't say enough good things about him. His teammates couldn't stop raving about him. You see the numbers on the screen, 155 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. The guy was an absolute animal. But before we start comparing anyone to an all-time great, you have to do 2 seasons. And, Bull, we talked about being a blue chipper.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't think anyone's a blue chipper until they've done it twice. So to compare him to the Ray Lewises and the Patrick Willises and the Luke Kuechly's of the world, I need to see him follow up on it. Now, he was awesome in Jim Schwartz's defensive scheme, where linebackers oftentimes get free runways downhill because of the way they play the wide 9 up front, the way the defensive tackles take on blocks. He was playing behind Myles Garrett and Malik Collins and Mason Graham, and the opposite end, whether it was McGuire or Alex Wright, which certainly helped his job. And I'm taking nothing away from Carson Schwesinger because I think he was that legitimately good as a rookie. But before we start comparing him to the all-time greats, he's got to do it twice. He's got to do it twice. And I don't want to take anything away from Carson. I just think we're getting a little too far ahead of ourselves at this point.
You absolutely. Listen, what he did as rookie was tremendous. You brought up the defensive line. That plays a role. You want to just throw, he was 23rd in PFF grades amongst linebackers, which is good. But to say a guy, now, Tyson Campbell didn't say he's going to be an all-time great. He said he could be.
And he certainly could be.
Yeah. You got to do it. It's not even 2 years. If I'm going to start comparing you to all-time greats, like, I don't think I was ready to do that with Myles Garrett until like the last year or two, and he was a superstar right off the bat. Like, I guess you could argue that Carson Schwesinger played but Carson Schwesinger wasn't an All-Pro last year.
No,
he was a great rookie. He was the best rookie linebacker. He's got incredible instincts. There's no doubt about it. I expect him to be a very good player for the Browns, but all-time great, I hope he is. But I'm not going there after 1 year. But I understand the teammate thinking that he could be.
They should hype him up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have nothing wrong with what Tyson Campbell said. I have no problem with Carson Schwesinger wanting to and thinking he could become one of the all-time greats.
That should be the goal for every player.
Absolutely. It's just 1 year in, it's too early to say anyone is on an all-time great trajectory. And when you think of the all-time great linebackers, like, I think of Ray Lewis.
Yeah, of course.
Urlacher. Kuechly was a little more.
There's no way you could even have a discussion about him in that category yet.
Yeah, and the key
word,
long
way from there.
The key word, yet.
Now, even after this year, I'm still not having that conversation. I don't care how well he plays. You got to do it for a number of years before you start being compared to Hall of Famers.
Jason?
I'm still looking up Fano. Keep going.
You're still looking up Fano?
Well, like, Utah's media guy doesn't do it the way it's supposed to.
It's not that important.
Well, yes, it is.
I mean, it only becomes important if they draft him.
Well, he's locked
I'm
in.
On a mission now.
We'll keep our. Who do you consider?
Plus, I think this is, like, silly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a guy complimented his teammate.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all it was. A guy complimented his teammate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Schwesinger had a terrific year.
Terrific.
He's got a long way to go to be considered an all-time great, but if he keeps playing like he did last year, I don't care what you call him. Just keep doing what you did last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all.
When I was thinking about this question, I was trying to think of, what has made the all-time greats, right? Ray Lewis had his downfall. He wasn't great in coverage, but was maybe the best I've ever seen. And I'm sure there's guys beforehand, awesome linebackers I didn't see play, and I haven't watched enough tape.
Lawrence Taylor is the greatest linebacker.
But he's in a different position. He's more of a linebacker as an edge rusher,
whatever.
outside linebacker than an interior guy.
Yeah, but that's not the case. In those days, he was a real linebacker.
He's the best ever, still before my time, but I think he's the best football player. My dad has told me since the day I could walk or understand that Lawrence Taylor was the greatest football player that ever lived.
Yeah.
I still abide by that, even though I never saw a game that Lawrence Taylor played. The one area Schwesinger can improve on from his rookie year to his second year to help him ascend to those kind of levels, he was good in pass coverage last year, wasn't great. Was incredible against the run. Going downhill, heat-seeking missile, Carson Schwesinger was, I don't want to say as good as anybody, but thrived in those situations. When he got in one-on-one coverage,
Yeah.
he was good. And as a rookie, being good in that is one of the hardest things you could do as a linebacker. And I even talked to Tyvis about this, and he said, knowing the routes, knowing the coverages, knowing how they're trying to manipulate you with play, like that's the hardest thing that someone in Carson Schwesinger's position has to do.
I don't know if he has the elite physical talent of the guys you've mentioned. He certainly appears to have elite instincts for the position, which is a big part of it. So I think it's reasonable to say, I think this guy's going to be a very good football player for a long time. Let's wait a while before we start comparing him to the all-time greats. But that doesn't mean there's any. Tyson Campbell saying he can be an all-time great. Beautiful.
Nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Go ahead. Did we get an answer?
I gave up. I can't find it.
Can Utah pull it together? I know. Listen, it's the most boring state in America. It's got to be something.
I have a good friend of mine who works in the Big 12 media department. Should I call him during the commercial and ask for that?
I mean, normally, if there's any question about the enunciation, they phonetically,
on the roster,
in the
you'll
media
see.
guide. I didn't see it anywhere.
Should I call Wax on air? Should we do this on air? Is it that
No.
important?
I would not do it.
All right.
It's not.
And that's unfair to call
We'll check it
Utah
out
the
at
most
break.
boring state. Probably South Dakota is the most boring state.
But everywhere I found, it's Fano. You're right, both.
Fano.
I cannot find a different pronunciation in videos or anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it
On
sounds
the
like
break,
it's
I will
Fano.
call and I will ask.
Like, no.
Yes.
All right, you like that?
Proud of you.